What's going on? What the goings on, y'all? You know what I'm talking about? Already. We gonna drink this. And we're gonna get into a little subject matter. Might be a little dim today, but it's definitely bright outside. I might take myself outside today. You understand me? Already like spaghetti. Let's get to some of this. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna get into a little playoffs. Then we're gonna get into a little something. Let's talk about a little bit of these playoffs though. So I was gazing yesterday because I was in my feelings, you know what I'm talking about. It was my baby mama's birthday. So you know what I'm talking about. I was a little I ain't gonna say I was under the weather, but I was definitely in my emotions. And I ain't been in my emotions in a while, so you know what I'm talking about? It probably controlled me a little bit. I don't like not being in control of my emotions, pretty much. So it was a dreary, should I say, a dreary day. I think I'm gonna start. I want to take this mask off, but it ain't gonna happen. Uh, anyway, let's get into some of these playoffs. So Denver Nuggets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. The game was 113-96, but me personally, it wasn't even close. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Jokic and Murray couldn't hit the barn side of a bandwagon. The barn side of a bandwagon. They couldn't make a shot. I think combined they was 2 for 15 from three. That rarely happens. So I don't really see them going into game. What game was that? I ain't even write it down. Oh yes, I did. Minnesota up 2-1. You feel me? So going into game four, I don't see it happening like that. I don't see them continuing to miss. But at one point, Minnesota was up 30. You know what I mean? All the whole team scored for real, for real. It wasn't, you know what I'm talking about? It wasn't just one person dominating. I think Randall might have had 20 points, 23 or some points, and Ant Man, you know what I'm saying, he ain't really have to score much because by the third quarter they was up 30, so wasn't no need for him to even really play. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, that was a blowout game. But the next two games, they was relatively kind of smooth. I mean, the Cleveland game was kind of a blowout too. But it will. I will say this though. Uh, I don't talk about the lefty that much, but I guess the lefty, J.R. Barrett, he went to work. You know what I'm talking about? He had 33, and Scotty Barnes had 33. I'm like, oh my goodness, they couldn't miss for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? When you get over 30, that means you had a productive game, sir. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see if we can get another 30 ball out, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? You might be able to tie the series up. You feel me? But you know what I'm saying? This J.R. Barrick is a lefty, and I don't understand this because it's hard to guard lefties. I'm a lefty. It's hard to guard a motherfucker. So I don't see why you don't have more 30-point games, sir. But you know what I'm saying? Most lefties, they don't got a lot of confidence as well. So, you know what I'm saying? Confidence be through the roof, but it won't match the game. And the game will be through the roof, but it won't match the confidence. So, you know what I'm talking about? If we can get both of them on one accord, RJ, you might be looking at a little something, something. Um, let's see. Who else we going? But yeah, that pretty much did Toronto versus Cleveland. But the game I watched, Atlanta versus the New York Knicks. Man, listen, I was on the edge of my feet. Johnson, I think you shot too much, but hey, you know what I'm talking about? They tried to mess your ankle up. I'm like, man, they really New York really wanted that game, but it was to no avail. And it was a relatively back and forth type of game. The game was 109 and 108. So it was definitely back and forth. You know what I'm saying? When it came to the threes, it seemed like nobody could put it in the basket. Like I said, Johnson had he made like 8 threes, but he was 8 of like 21. So it wasn't really back and forth. But what I'm gonna say is this: Bronson, you ain't make no threes, sir. You shot 5 of them. Then you want to decide instead of giving it to Cat, you want to just not shoot them bitches. You feel me? And then, like in the third quarter, the other guys was coming in, to substitute for you. They wasn't really doing too much of nothing, you know what I'm talking about? And it made Atlanta stay in the game. And you can't let a team you're supposed to beat to stay in the game, especially in the playoffs. They're gonna go to work. The only reason why I'm talking about the Atlanta game and the New York game, because it's the most competitive. You feel me? Y'all went back and forth. I don't know why y'all truly think, because on paper, y'all better. But statistically, they got 3 animals that can go to work. And in the playoffs, that's all you need. If you got 3 people that can be, what they call it, productive consistently, hey, you'll go a long way. You fuck around and fuck around with the fuck around. Because Quentin Capella, he ain't playing. CJ McCullough, he ain't playing. Johnson ain't playing. And who else did they thing? Johnson ain't playing. What I say? CJ McCullough and Quentin Capella. You better watch those guys because they coming. They smell it. They up 2-1. I don't know why they be calling me. You know what I'm talking about? Just calling my phone, trying to interrupt what I got going on. It's not gonna happen. But I gotta say that. You know what I'm talking about? Forgive me. You know what I'm saying? Pardon my French. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the Atlanta Hawks for winning that game. Or did the New York Knicks lose the game? Is the question. Brunson can't hit. Cat can't hit. They had 47 points between the two. Y'all definitely gotta make more than 50 points fucking with them. You gotta have a 60-70 ball. That means somebody gotta be amazing. I tried to tell you, then you wanted to let Cat get off. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give them the ball, bro. You gonna give them the ball this next game? I hope so. Because this game was wiggity whack. You feel me? I just knew you was gonna listen, but it's these new age motherfuckers. They don't want to listen to the old motherfucker. I really truly thought after I said, yeah, I fucked up. I was misguiding. That you maybe would have said, damn, said what he said. Maybe I should start listening to him. No, you said, oh yeah, he said he fucked up. Let's do us. No, nigga. I said I fucked up. And here's what you do. Boo-boo. But guess what? Maybe you will do it in game 4. Because if not, them 3 names is going to do you the same. You know what I'm talking about? Already. Like spaghetti. Now let's get into this conduct. You know what I'm saying? Unbecoming to me. But it ain't new to y'all, but it's true to y'all. You feel me? You understand me? Shout out to Kenyon Barris from Blackidge. I guess he decided to quit Blackidge. He gave a reason why he quit Blackidge. You know what I'm saying? Due to the powers that was above thee that said, you know what I'm talking about? You made a quintessential episode that we don't acquire. And you said, well, you can fire. And they said, well, happy to oblige. And that's just the way the cookie crumbled. Long story short, though, you know what I'm talking about? They got rid of the old boy because, you know what I'm saying, he wouldn't comply with the ramifications of the situation. And that's just how it go in the upper echelons. You know what I'm talking about? You can say what you want. You can do what you can. But if you ain't willing, because look, just imagine how the Caucasian took over. He died and made sacrifices. Know how many times he probably messed up before he got it right? And he didn't care because he knew he was going to get it right. And once he got it right, he wasn't trying to get nothing up. And that's just what it is. Shout out to Whack 100. You know what I'm talking about? I guess he was outside. He was talking to No Jumper again. You know what I'm saying? I be laughing at your antics, sir, because you know who they are, and you continue to keep making yourself upset. I think you like your blood pressure that high, cause you know them they ain't gonna do nothing. They just gonna get rid of you. You feel me? I mean, at the same time, you bring so much content. I don't think they can afford to get rid of you, but they can afford to make you look like a fool. You weren't looking tough. The tough man is out the window, sir. So you being tough, they just like, oh well. I guess we can cancel him for another 30 days or so. You know what I'm talking about? You was threatening staff, you was nutting up, they had to restrain you. Yeah. This is a story we heard all before. We ain't nobody on it. Yeah. I don't know why y'all nah, it's at the point they want to just stop my recordings. You feel me? But it ain't gonna happen. We're gonna keep it moving. Um, I guess there was a massive shooting in Louisiana mall in a Louisiana mall. I'm waiting. I'll get further details. We'll talk about it. I'll probably put it up on my screen on Monday because you know it's the weekend. It's Friday. I really didn't want to come here, but hey, here we go. Because I really wanted to talk about I guess it was I don't know where it was at. To be truly speaking, I think it might have been in Philly, but I don't know. I guess a Instagram model named Cardian Gloom. I'm hoping I'm saying your name right because you know what I'm saying. I want to give my condolences to the family because you got hit by a car and sadly you got unalived. And I don't know who was I think you may have been the aggressor in the situation. And I really wanted to say that to say just because you pretty don't mean someone won't, you know what I'm saying, do what they gotta do to protect themselves. Now you was out there banging on the car and yelling and screaming and they panicked. They ain't know what to do. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? They was probably in fear of their life. You probably beat them up in the club. No telling. We'll get further details though, but shout out to the family and my condolences to Kadian Gloom. May you rest in heaven, sir. Ma'am. Now, we're going to get into some further news. And we're probably going to get up out of here. Like I said, this the weekend. I really didn't want to do no video, but I figure I'd do a little 20-minute boy. Because my time is going pretty fast today. I ain't been talking that long. I know it ain't been no 14, 15 minutes. But I don't know what's going on with the clock today. It's zooming and booming. Shout out to Michael Beasley. I watched the whole through. It seemed like 3 hours, but it was 2.5. So that's 3 to me. Michael Beasley on the Club Shay Shay podcast, and you know, people like to say that he's an aggressor, but when I see Michael Beasley, I look at an educated man, and I be trying to listen to what he got to say because I know when you ain't, how. Mhm. When you ain't got the demons possessing you, you tend to talk normal. And you losing your mom to cancer, and LeBron and Magic Johnson making fun of you because you wore different shorts, to you having all the kids and wanting to be a family person. Um, you talking about how you the best on one on one. You know, the whole college experience, how you wanted to be like Tim Duncan and stay off for, but you had to take care of the 4, 5 people in your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot of impactful things. I mean, a million people should have watched it by now. So everybody understand what I'm saying. It was enlightening to just sit there and hear you talk. Versus, I didn't even know that you was the type of person that didn't say much. But I mean, you being a fair skinned fella with green eyes, I'm pretty sure, like you said, they all had their assumptions and you just let them assume. But sometimes people can assume the worst. And when they tend to do that, they just make their own prognosis on how you truly are. I mean, I know it's hard, but that's just be what it's gonna be sometimes. And people just let it be, not knowing that you're a well versed and educated young man. You've been through the raptures of love, but at the same time, that's how my daughter is. My daughter is well mannered, and she's quiet, but she's a Libra. And most Libras, by them being a balancing being, they tend to know, they hear and see everything. They might not say a whole lot, but they know a whole lot. You feel me? And that's how I teach my kids. You know what I'm saying? If you know a whole lot, you could do a whole lot. I always paid attention. And as long as you ain't doing a whole lot of talking and you doing a whole lot of listening. And I look at you and that's how I see you. You did a whole lot of listening. You know what's going on when it's going on. And I feel like, nigga, you was in your zone and you had it going on. And I see that you just made you a little app. You feel me? And I see that's promising. That is very promising. I like that idea. You feel me? Give these youth a chance to be something before they is something. I seen your idea on the NIL. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, it was very, very interesting just to hear you. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers think you ain't in tune, bro. And you been tuning this whole time. That's crazy. You love idling your engine, huh? See, I could talk to you in parables and you will understand exactly where I'm coming from when I'm coming. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to you, Michael Beasley. And if you haven't went and seen the video, I suggest you go see it. It might teach you how to raise a motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? You understand me? Already. I don't mean to offend or harm anyone. This is my disclaimer. Okay, now we're gonna go to All Star JR in the situation in Houston. Come on, All Star. What are you doing, sir? I guess this gonna be more than 20 minutes. All Star JR in the Houston situation. I guess the feds done got back to their meticulous ways. And the video came out. You standing over the man. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't know his name entirely, but I know it's West Side. And this particular gentleman said exactly what I was thinking. When you got the gun and you discharged it and got them people up off you, you should have got the fuck on. But no, you proceeded to come back and stand over a man You know what I'm talking about? And that's what got you incarcerated. Fuck whatever happened after the fact. You left, came back. You feel me? Once the gentleman got off you and you was willing and able to leave the situations, you should have just left. Hey, if they living, they living. If they dying, they die. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't leave, bro. You stood over that man. Cook one, book one. You know what I'm talking about? You could take discharge or you could talk about discharge. Now, everybody want to say you going to, you know what I'm saying? You going to have something to say. All that shit you was talking on the internet, I suggest you do that. You feel me? Or you know what they going to do with you? They going to have fun with you. Oh, this nigga. And then they going to, you know what they going to say? Oh, Detroit, you know they known for this and that. It's this and that. Oh, it's rats everywhere, sir. So you wouldn't be the first one. You just gonna have the internet have something to talk about. And that's what I be talking about this podcast and shit. And excuse my language, I don't mean to offend or harm anyone. This is my disclaimer. But this is what I be saying about the copycats. Everybody gonna say the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna make Detroit is what it is. But we are who we are, and we gonna forever be. We was Motown Records, baby. We was the first music. So I don't care what sounds they have. They'll never be the sound of music. They'll never be Fox Theater. So they can talk as much as they mean, as much as they might. And I hope you don't do that, but you probably going to sing like a songbird. Because shit, somebody tried to assault me. You know what I'm talking about? But you stood over that man. So you at least going to get that charge. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen to the stories because you know they're going to have some. They might even make them up now so they can get excuse my language. They might make them up now so they can have their story already going. Don't even know what's going on when it's going on in the zone. But that's why I wasn't really talking about it. Because I know the ramifications of the situation. You know what I'm talking about? All you gotta do is listen. Oh, nigga, let me stop talking because I know what's finna happen. And peekaboo, exactly what I said. Nigga, you was standing over that man. It's literally on my story. It's in the records now. Maybe next time you'll stand somewhere else, huh? For real, for real. But like I say, it's still Detroit versus everybody. Don't get it twisted just because I'm saying, nigga, you was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nigga, that still don't mean that it ain't what it is. I love you to death, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? That's because you from the way by the way. We ain't gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. I mean, make it what it isn't when it is what it is. Mistakes happen. You know what I'm talking about? Your emotions kicked in. Let me see. Man, I hate talking about this, but let's talk about it. I guess a bus driver was I guess he was a bus driver with special needs kids. He goes and tells on the 22-year-old passenger that was doing the wrong things, and he gets fired. You know what I'm saying? For doing the right thing. You too old to be doing what you're doing. But since you need my help, I gotta leave? That ain't right. They go, but you know, it's in Dearborn, you know what I'm saying? In the Dearborn, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of fair-skinned young people there. And they probably just, you know what I'm talking about, was not thinking when they was acting. But now you got the chance to sue them for not thinking. Maybe you'll start thinking. You know what I'm talking about? You can't just, but he got credentials. You know what I'm talking about? And with those credentials, he finna go to work. And then you know how special, well, you know what I'm talking about. I know how special needs people are. When they build the bond, the bond is built. They ain't gonna forget. And they probably on the bus like, where's Mr. Such and Such? Oh, you ain't got Mr. Such and Such. I don't want to get on the bus. And you know, they acting a fool. And most people that are special like that, they strong. You know what I'm talking about? Fuck what they going through. Those were strong individuals. Mentally, physically, maybe. All that. They like, I'm not getting on the bus with the new person. The new person don't know I need apples and vinegar to make my bowels do what it do by the time I get to school. Motherfucker don't know I need to have my special drink or I don't feel special and I'm not going in there. Motherfucker don't need know nothing about me. They don't know they need to talk to me for 20 minutes the whole ride because I'm nervous. That's a lot of things to go on in that job that he probably care not to talk about. And that's what make him him. But shout out to him and all his endeavors. What's up, Al? Shout out to Al. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. Shout out to Tasha K for this story. I guess Al Vio realized that he had HIV, and I guess he's the ex-boyfriend of a reality star named Shamar. Now Shamar got on there and said he used protection all the time, and he always go get himself tested. So I'm pretty much maybe thinking, I don't know. And at the bottom of the story, it said, you know what I'm saying, where he contracted his situation from. Shamar bunked that statement by saying he was hooking up with his ex. And that's where he retracted HIV from. That's no here nor there for me. You shouldn't have been Shamar. You shouldn't have fell for the okie doke anyway. But that's what happens when you up and coming, you moving around, and you special as well. We not gonna go past that. You special, and you got a crooked back. And with all that, you like, oh, I'm gonna take what I can get, not knowing when you got it, you was gonna get got. You know what I'm talking about? Already. So, you know, we all make mistakes in life. And I hope y'all get it right. I ain't gonna talk a lot about that because that's just too much for me. I hate the whole 3-letter word. You feel what I'm talking about? I watched a man lose his whole career off a 3-letter word. I really don't get off in the 3-letter word. You know what I'm talking about? What it is, what it is. Shout out to Drake. You know what I'm talking about? I guess I'm gonna be doing shout out Drake until May 15th. But yeah, you know, I like to go back and listen to music when especially during the time where I'm anticipating the best. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just going back listening to music, seeing how far you came and seeing what is, what it does. I ain't even write this down, but shout out to Young M.A. too. I don't know about that young freestyle you did. You know what I'm talking about? You might need to go back to the drawing board and rewrite that. You know what I mean? Yeah, your metaphors wasn't speaking, man. You do, and then you know it's. I guess everybody ain't metaphorically spoken. So you know what I'm talking about. It is what it is, but you know what I mean. You shouldn't have changed the beat. You should have left it exactly where it was and did your thing. But to each his own. You the only one that like to debunk. You one of them young niggas that like to debunk what I say. And do what you do. You know what I'm talking about? But what I will say is this. Take it for what you want to take it for. Stop buying your views, man. It don't make you look like you is what you is. It make you look like you ain't what you ain't. Shout out to Drake. I mean, shout out to Zeke and Zeke. I guess not today, but the other day, yo, it's both at the Palace. That's what's up. I can dig it. I guess that was Wednesday. I should have talked about it, but I didn't. I figured I'd talk about it now. You know what I'm talking about? I hope y'all continue to do great shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. I guess you was on a tiny desk, you know what I'm talking about, doing your song. I'ma love you anyway, even if I cannot stay. Hey, shit. I'm like, damn, they sung the whole song. Whoa, a sweet thing. They was like, don't you know you my everything? They did that. I wish you were my lover, but you act so undercover. Hey, she look at me. You be right, you be wrong. Don't you hear me talking, baby? Love me now, I'll go crazy. Whoa, oh, sweet thing. Don't you know you're my everything? Whoa, sweet thing. I'm like, damn, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. You know, that's my shit too. I'm like, man, I was in that bitch like, hey, I'm singing that whole thing. I'm with the crowd. You're gonna shout out to Shaka Khan though. You feel me? Let's see. Shout out to Uncle Luke. Damn, Uncle Luke. You doing your democratic thing. Now you just want to talk about everything. So I guess Uncle Luke decided he wanted to talk about the black coaches that got fired, and then the white coach that went to rehab. That's what I mean about falling on the sword. Is you gonna die for us? If you not, shut the fuck up. That political stunk shit don't work no more. Nigga get to talking about you. Like, bro, what did you talk about? Why is you talking? You need somebody, you need some help. You need some clicks and views. Here you go. Nigga. Cause other than that, you ain't talking about doing nothing. And even the niggas that's waking niggas up. When you wake them up, what they gonna do? They gonna run to this right here and talk about that right there. So stop waking. If you want, nigga, that's why when I go down my timeline and a nigga wake me up, I ain't willing to talk about it. I used to get the wake up and come right on this bitch with the wake up. You know what I'm talking about? I was already where I was at, but nigga, hold on, let's talk about this right here. But I'm like, damn, I'm giving these niggas degrees of separation and they won't separate. But shout out to you though, you know what I'm saying? You want to talk about black folks, by all means, talk about black folks. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what the hell is going on today. Sorry, y'all. I feel like something is crawling on me, but I can't find it. Anyway, shout out to Shaquille O'Neal. I guess Kevin Hart decided to say, damn, I need to be more like Shaq in so many words. You know what I'm talking about? They got a multitude of businesses. And how do they work? You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a little insight on how Shaq shit work. He done said it himself, so it ain't like I'm saying some new shit. You just got to pay attention to shit instead of running your goddamn mouth all the damn time. Motherfuckers do a whole lot of talking and no listening, man. Shout out to Michael Beasley. Boy, I'm telling you, y'all need to sit back and listen to that man instead of ridiculing him. You feel me? He said he had a lot of Jews in there. But back to you, Mr. Shaquille O'Neal. He listened. He tell you that all the time. I listen. Is it a good idea? Okay, give me a second. Here, go back, look at the numbers. Okay, what's the idea? Well, how much you need? If all that shit makes sense, he gonna do it. Point blank period. He ain't gonna answer no questions or nothing. Go to money, do your thing. Just that simple. Cause he believe in the people, man. You can't be scared. You know what I'm talking about? Already. This turned out to be something beautiful, you guys. I appreciate it. Wanted to stop and listen. Shout out to Blue Face and the incident in the mall with his daughter. Me personally, I thought that was beautiful. But I got a lot of children, sir. So for me to see you interacting with your baby and basically letting your baby be your baby, you feel me? She wasn't